Welcome back to the channel. My name is Derek and I like to talk about anything tech and travel related. Today, I'm going to be unboxing a 2019 16-inch MacBook Pro that I got for myself to replace my 2015 MacBook Pro. Today, before we get into the unboxing, I just want to say thank you to all the essential workers out there that are keeping our economy running while everybody else is inside. The doctors, nurses, hospital workers, truck drivers, pharmacists, and also just anybody working at the stores right now that has to be out there, people in grocery stores or any retail that is essential. So as somebody who is classified as a non-essential worker, I want to thank everybody who has to be out on the front lines right now battling this, and let's get into it. All right, so now let's get into the unboxing. As you can see, this giant box right here that just came from B&H contains the MacBook Pro and a few other accessories, but let's tear it open. I've got my trusty Gerber knife here, and I'm just gonna tear in. All right, some packing slips right here. And we've got all of that kind of stuff. So the first thing we've got here is the USB hub that I ordered, because you basically have to have this because all of the new MacBook Pros come with only 4 USB-C ports. I wish they would have had a card slot. I wish they would have had some other things on there, but they have gone this way for the last few years and there's nothing I can do about it. So I had to buy one of these. Next, there is a, let me get it out here, a rain stand, which is actually just a stand that I'm gonna have it lifted next to my monitor, and that's gonna be how I can see it a little bit better. And then without further ado, oh God, there's another box in here. Oh. That's heavy. All right, so another box here. Not exactly sure where to, there it is. There we go. There it is, MacBook Pro. Let's pull that out. Nothing else in the box there. Whew, that is nice. It's a little bit dirty from the packaging. There's some dust all over it, but I'm not gonna need that plastic here in a second. So we've got MacBook Pro. The box looks about the same as my other MacBook Pro from a few years ago. And we've got this nice little tab here that we just pull and the plastic just comes off. Very much like every other Apple product they've been putting out. The iPad Pros, the iPhones as well have that sort of tear tag. All right, let's move some of this around here. Well, as hard as they tried, they kind of dented the box in shipping, it looks like, but that's no problem. I did get this discounted at B&H because they were having a big sale, so I decided to pull the trigger. It actually took almost a month to get here. I ordered it at the beginning of the month, and it's now the end of March, and I'm just getting it today. Here we go. Very sort of Apple-ish to open, a lot of friction there. Ooh. Here it is. Of course, we've got another plastic thing in there, and then right under it, we've got designed by Apple in California, and a USB-C to USB-C cable. That's gonna be our charging cable, and the charging brick should be right here, and it is. Luckily, I've got the extension cord for the old one, so I hope that still works for this one, because it doesn't look like they even give you the extension cord anymore for that. Anything under here? Nope, cannot pull that apart. All right. So you're probably wondering which version I got. Since video editing is gonna be my primary use on this, I actually went with one of the higher tiered models. Luckily, it was actually $300 off at B&H, so thank you, B&H. So the model I decided on has 64 gigabytes of RAM, 1 terabyte of hard drive space because I have external hard drives, and hopefully none of the projects actually have over a terabyte of footage to put on the computer. I've never hit that, but who knows in the future. I also decided to go with the step down processor, kind of the mid-range, the 2.3 gigahertz i9 processor, and I actually upgraded the video card in this, so it's the Radeon card with 8 gigabytes of RAM, which is the best that you can get in these right now. So I hope I'm really happy with it, and here we go. I'm gonna take the plastic off now. Wow. And I got it in the space gray color because that matches my iPad, my watch, and my phone. So all of my Apple products, except for my old computer, which just came in silver, are all in space gray now. All right, now that it's all opened up, I'm gonna set it up with the backup from my other computer there so we can do the head-to-head comparison of it rendering a video that I've been working on. All right, to start this off, I have my Time Machine backup, my computer, and the USB-C hub that I can connect everything with. So I've actually got to plug this guy right into the computer to be able to use all of my other hard drives and stuff that uses the USB-A plug. So I'm gonna get into this right now. All right, it's just this tiny aluminum hub that plugs in with both USB ports on the side, and I can use USB or I can use USB-C, I can use micro SD or regular SD, as well as HDMI on the back there, so I can use it for a lot of things. I may have to get another one of these though to run my entire system going forward. And I'm just gonna plug this into the side right there. Clips on nice and easy. I'm gonna take my USB drive and plug it in. Oops, gotta plug it in upside down. And we've got that nice paper here to protect the screen. I'm so glad I don't have to deal with the pock marks like I do on my other computer. Now it's starting up here. English. Wow, this screen is really nice. I really like the thin borders. It actually makes it feel a lot larger, and I'm not used to it yet, but this trackpad is so much larger than the old one, and I'll get into that in a little bit as well. All right, now I'm gonna do from a Mac Time Machine backup or startup disk, and that's my Time Machine backup right there, telling me to connect the AC power. So I am gonna take out this little adapter for the wall there, and I am gonna put in the one that goes to my old adapter. That should work pretty well. And then it's USB-C on this side. And then the USB-C cable can actually be powered through this side. So if I just go in there, boom, connected to USB-C power. All right, now that the backup is complete, I'm gonna sign in and look around and see if everything has come over the way I need it to. Both laptops are very close in size, as you can see. I can even slide them over and stack them on top of each other. And the 16-inch only comes out only a few millimeters different possibly than the size of the old 15.4-inch MacBook Pro. So opening up, you can even see that the trackpad is much larger on the new style, which I really enjoy. I've actually been playing around with it for a few minutes here. Even this touch bar isn't too bad. I thought I might not like it, but I kind of do now. It looks like it could be pretty useful other than just the function keys from the original design, but I'm starting to enjoy the keyboard on this too, where the keys on this were really, really good, and they switched them out for the butterfly keys for the last 4 years or so. The keys on this are actually excellent. They don't have as much key travel, but they do still have that sort of snappy sound where you kind of hear that. Not quite as loud as the old style. I never had any problems with these keys on this, and I've been hearing really good things about the new keys on the 16-inch. So I'm gonna play with it for a while, and then I'm gonna get into Premiere Pro, and I'm actually going to do a head-to-head. As you can see on both of these right now, I'm gonna export at 1080p at 30 frames a second. I do have some 2.7K and some 4K clips in this, but I'm actually just gonna test it exporting at 1080p 30. Down at the bottom, you can see its estimated file size is going to be 1,222 megabytes, or just over 1.2 gigabytes. And now I'm gonna click export and see how fast it takes each of them to render. All right, as you can see, it took nearly 25 minutes on the 2015 MacBook Pro to complete what the 2019 16-inch MacBook Pro did in just over 9 minutes. I've pulled up the Blackmagic Design disk speed test just to show the difference in read and write speeds between the two SSDs. As you can see, the 16-inch MacBook Pro is on the right side with its read and write speeds both around 3,000. And on the left side, we have the 2015 MacBook Pro, which is rounding out at about 800 to 1,000 megabytes a second, so just over a gigabyte in write speeds and 1.4 gigabytes in read speeds. So the 2016 is almost 3 times as fast in read and write speeds. Next, I brought up the Geekbench 5 test, so I'm going to click Run CPU Benchmark here to see the differences between the two. And as you can see here, the single and multi-core scores on the 16-inch MacBook Pro, you've got a multi-score of 7,000 and a multi-core score of 3,300 on the 15-inch, whereas the single-core score is 894 versus 1,102. And last but not least, the classic Cinebench. And as you can see with the results of the Cinebench test, 1,330 points versus 3,327 points. So obviously the 2019 16-inch crushes the 2015 model, but that was to be expected. This was just for fun and for you guys to see the difference. So I've had a little bit of time to play with the new MacBook Pro, and it is incredible in my opinion. My workflow is going a lot faster because I'm not getting stuck with dropped frames or anything like that. And it's just fun to play with. The larger screen makes it feel a little bit more immersive than before. The larger trackpad here is also awesome. I've been wanting something like that for a while now, and I know that you can get like the Magic trackpads for your regular computer that are a little bit larger, but this is great to have that as an addition. All in all, I'm really liking all of the changes in the new MacBook Pro and starting to adjust to my new workflow with it. I'm even trying out Final Cut Pro. They've got a 90-day free trial, so I'm gonna try that out just to teach myself some more editing skills while I'm here in quarantine. I think the thing though that I'm most impressed with is the speaker quality on this iteration, because I've been using this Bose SoundLink Mini here for a few years, just plugging that into the output of my computer to use it kind of as a studio monitor, and I don't have to do that anymore. I mean, these are incredible sounding speakers just from what I've heard in some music and even in the editing process. And as you can see, this Rain Design stand is perfect to keep the MacBook Pro elevated just a little bit above the desk here, so I can put cables and stuff under it. I actually store my iPad mini there when it's charging, and then I've got my Rode NTG over there, the VideoMic NTG, and then that dongle, and my monitor, and my additional keyboard and mouse over there. So it's actually a pretty slick editing suite as well. Even though this is an expensive piece of gear, in the last few years, Apple hasn't really increased the quality of the webcams. I don't know why that is. We're in 2020 and the iPhones actually have better FaceTime cameras than the MacBook Pros do. But this is going to be a quick test of the audio quality. These are just the internal microphones, and Apple actually says now that they have beamforming technology and that they're going to be studio quality. So I just came outside in my backyard here since we're in social isolation, and you can hear that the birds are in the trees, and there's some cars and stuff on the road over there, and a little bit of wind noise, so we'll get a good test of how they actually sound. I'd like to end the video by saying thank you for watching. Please click the subscribe button if you liked it and you think I deserve it, and also, hey Google, help me wash my hands.
Wash, wash, wash your hands for 40 seconds, please. Soap will chase the germs away so you don't cough and sneeze. Lather up your hands about a half a minute more. Get in between each finger, you can never be too sure. Clean, clean, clean your hands, and if you're getting